Hello my lovely people, it's Queen Agnes. Welcome to Queen TV, where I encourage everyone to be earnest, ambivalent, and overall empowered. So as you read by the title, today I'm going to be having a little discussion with you guys, or just giving my opinion about this question that I usually get a lot. Like, I get it more often than I should. I mean, not really, because it's a good question. And I feel like it was the right first question to have a discussion with you guys. And I miss having these little talks, and it's gonna be very weird because now I'm actually looking at the camera. And I'm still getting used to the whole camera thing. Like, I'm so used to not looking at the camera, so just gonna have to bear with me if I keep looking at things, because I like to write things down so I can make sure I just hit the points that I want to hit. So today I'm gonna be answering how to stay godly in a luxurious world. How to stay godly in a luxurious world. So first of all, I just wanted to read you guys the Google definition of luxurious. So it says extremely comfortable, elegant, or enjoyable, especially in a way that involves great expense. So basically almost everything that we know. So basically big fancy houses, big fancy restaurants, big fancy clothes, fancy jewelry, fancy watches, fancy purses. Those are things that are luxurious, or just expensive vacations, just different things like that. And I feel like we live in a luxurious world, and I don't know who would disagree with that, but I really feel like we do. Even I find myself just so caught up in what I wear. I find myself so caught up in what I have on my face. I find myself so caught up for what kind of shoes I have. And growing up, I feel like people would always just judge you or base you off of what kind of clothes are you wearing, how is your hair looking, like what kind of shoes are you wearing. And I feel like that is the kind of world that we live in. And so fortunately, how can we be godly in a world like this? And so my first point or advice: be humble. When you're humble, you appreciate what you have. And when you're humble, you see yourself as the level you are on. And so, I mean, there is nothing wrong with having fancy Louis Vuittons and Balenciagas and red bottoms, and there's nothing wrong with having a fancy mansion, of having a 16-room building with a theater and a big swimming. There's like nothing wrong with that. But when you're on that level, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in, oh, when I grow up, I want to do this and this and this. We focus on what we want instead of how we're going to make that happen. And so I feel like when you're humble, and we're humble, and we realize, okay, so this is how much money I have. This is what I work for. So according to how much I have, this is how much, like, this is what I should get, kind of. And I feel like this has helped me personally, because after I stopped caring about what other people thought about me, I would just look and I'm like, okay, first of all, like, I be over here wanting like the latest iPhone. I want the latest clothes that are trending, the latest shoes. But then I think, I don't work. Like, I don't make money. Like, this is a while back before I started working. I'm like, I don't work or make the money for me to buy these things, and I want all of these fancy things, and I don't even know how much money my parents are making in. And then first of all, that's kind of selfish to want $1,000 phone for one person, and you have brothers and sisters, or your parents work so hard, and then of course some of them are not gonna say no. And I don't know, I just feel like just being humble and knowing that those things don't really, those things don't really define anything. And I feel like if you are my friend just because I always have the latest hairstyle, I always have the latest clothes, I always have the latest phones, technology, all of this, then are you really my friend because of my stuff and what you can get from it, or how people can see you as, oh, you hang out with her? What? Or like, do you actually hang out with me because I'm genuinely a nice person? So I feel like that's where the humbleness like plays in. And I feel like it's really important to be humble in a world like today. And I feel like Jesus gave the ultimate example. Like when he came into this world, he came in the humblest way he could have came. Like he was literally born where cows and donkeys will eat. Like that's where he was born. And I don't know what's more humble than that. Like that a prince, like he was born in a stable. Like just imagine that. Like how can you get any more? And then like throughout his life, like he had raggedy clothes, and like he had like raggedy sandals, and he would instead of walking like into palaces and like having all these fancy clothes, like he would be out in the desert with dirt and sometimes not even having water. Like that is so humble. And just knowing that your outer appearance is not gonna get you to heaven, one, but it doesn't make you you. It can have an influence on you actually, because I know some people who have all the latest designs and everything, but they could be like some of the coldest people I've ever met. Like they just have really hard hearts, and like just speaking to them, I'm just like, you need Jesus. Like Jesus really like only Jesus can take over. So just being humble, like that's a really good, I think that's a really good way to stay godly in such a luxurious world, because I really feel like this world just keeps becoming more and more luxurious. And I feel like I'm so blessed that I come from a home where we're not like that. Like my parents are not like that. Like they don't really focus on all those materialistic things. Like I don't know, like I like that so much about them. Like they're so humble. Like my parents are really humble, like especially my mom. Like they're really humble, and I feel like it's just taught me to be humble myself. And so like I'm blessed that I grew up in a family like that. But just because you don't grow up with parents like that and a family like that, it doesn't mean you have to be like that too. Like you can totally be humble. And just because someone grows up with parents who are humble doesn't mean themselves are gonna become humble like that. So it's just a matter of will and want and desire. So I feel like being humble is definitely a big one. Another thing I would say that can help us stay godly in such a luxurious world is just being different. And this ties in with being humble. Like just being different. Like I feel like this day and age, everybody wants to be like somebody. Like I want to be like this when I grow up. I don't know. Ugh, like, oh, this is the latest trends. Like I feel like we have so many followers in this world that there aren't enough leaders. And I feel like sometimes we get so caught up into it because other people make us feel like that when we're our own people, like we're weird and like odd. But that's not really how it is. Because I find that those people who are different, like I just like being friends with them, because I'm like, you're different. Like you're not like everybody else. Like you're not trying to you're not trying to dress how everybody else dresses. You're not trying to be what everybody else is wanting to be. You're not trying to do what everyone is trying to do. Like you're just trying to be you. Like, you know, you're trying to shine. Like be different. So I feel like yeah, being different, because when you're different, you're not gonna want what everybody wants. Like, you know, like what I was saying with the dreams. Like, instead of dreaming, oh, I'm gonna have a big house, I'm gonna have the latest Lamborghini and the new Tesla, I'm gonna have the latest, like, instead of just thinking that, like how everybody else thinks, you're thinking like, ooh, when I grow up, I want to be so close to God. Like, I want to change the world. I want to be a powerful motivator, speaker. Like, if you're thinking these things, that's different, because not a lot of people think like this. And so when you think different, it takes you away from the luxury of this world, because you have that different mindset. Like, you're just operating a whole different level than everybody else. And I say this because, like, okay, going to school, I felt like, and I still feel, because I'm still going to school, I just feel like there's always, like, a certain type of people that are accepted. Yeah. Like, we don't really have, like, popular groups, but I feel like there is a certain group that's accepted. And it's based off of looks. It's based off of, like, how they dress. Like, it's not really based off what kind of person they are inside, what kind of dreams they have. And if you hear them, like, you're just like, why does this person think like that? But, like, not to get too deep into it, but yeah, just being different. Like, be different. Be different. Like, I cannot stress that enough. God did not put us into this world to be identical. If he wanted all of us to be the same, he would have made all of us quadrillion cheeks. I was trying to find a way to say triplets, but, like, more than 3. Like, it would be like a billion, or quadruplets. Like, is that how you say it? I don't know, but, like, we would all be the same. But no, he made us all with our own special DNA, so that we can be different. We can be different. And I don't care if people have the same calling. You can be different in your same calling. I don't care if you're trying to do the same business as someone else. You can have the same business, be different, and bring a different aspect to the business. You know what I mean? That was a good point. So, yeah, just be different. Like, think differently. And I say that because, okay, I feel like most people, like, when they're younger, they don't really think about their future. I mean, yes, they think about it, but, like, not into great detail. And so, like, me, like, I just always thought about my future. And, like, I just knew exactly, not exactly, but, like, I just always had a plan. And then I always review it. Like, I don't just stick to that one plan. I always review it every single year and make changes, add stuff, delete stuff. And I feel like this past few months has just been the biggest change to my plans. Like, I completely changed everything. Everything. Like, nothing stayed the same with my future. Just, like, yeah, like, the big stuff, like, changed. I mean, some other stuff, like, main ideas of why I even wanted to do that in the first place, those things stay the same. But how I want to do it, like, everything completely changed. So I feel like thinking like that, like, that's being different, because there's some people I go to school with, like, they have no idea what they want to study. They have no idea what they want to do in life. They have no idea what they're going next in life. They have no idea where they want to go to college. Like, these are some of the things, like, we need to be thinking about. So, like, just being different like that really, yeah, it really helps. It really helps you stay godly. Like, it helps you stay godly, because you're not so caught up in being the same. And with God, you're gonna have to be different, because as a Christian, everybody has their different roles, their different talents, their different gifts. So that's why you're gonna have to be different. Like, there's, like, just speaking in my own church, like, there's literally nobody there that's the same. Like, everybody is different. So that's how another way we can stay godly in a luxurious world. And then my final tip, or just pointer of how we can stay godly in a luxurious world, is to be unique. Being unique. Being different is one thing, and being unique is another. And I didn't used to know the difference. Because you can be different, but not unique. Like, unique means there's nobody else like you. Like, they can go from one point of the earth to another, and you're the only one of your kind. Because you are unique. And I feel like that's all I can say with unique. Like, I think everybody just knows what unique is. When you are unique while being godly, like, people look at that. Like, you're an example. And I don't know, this is so deep. Like, it's just making me think, like, wow, like, how am I unique? Like, you know, it just makes you really, like, just makes you question so much. Like, how am I unique, you know? So yeah, just being unique, it can really, it sets you apart. Being unique. And something that's so beautiful that I just learned this past few months, I was learning about relationships and love and about all of that, and I was learning about the season of singleness. And the reason why we have that season is a waiting season. It's because God is trying to create us into the person we're supposed to become. And one of the things He's creating us to become is unique. Because when you're unique and you meet your significant other, the person for you, since you're unique, that means there's not going to be anybody else for that person. Because you're unique. Like, he can't find you nowhere else. She can't find you anywhere else. So being unique doesn't only help you be, it does help you be godly, because finding the right person in your life is being godly. Like, and I want to go into a study with this, because I feel like my desires, I know this is totally off track, but I feel like my desires are like youth, like young people, and then like love, like relationship love. I really like talking about it, like really much. And like when I study about it, I just become so fascinated. And I feel like it's good for me to learn this stuff before like I actually fall in love or get into a relationship, so I can know what is a relationship, what is supposed to happen, what are the do's and don'ts. How can you bring God into a relationship to better and strengthen your relationship? Just different things like that. But yeah, I'm totally off track. But yeah, those are the 3 things, ways, whatever, pointers of staying godly in a luxurious world. Being humble. Being different. And lastly, being unique. Unique. Humble, different, unique. So that is it, my lovely people. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this content and video, make sure you like it, comment down below, subscribe, and may God bless you. Bye.